I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to take a page out of the Steve Dangle book of things to do when you really don't want to record a video and do just a one take video this time around. Now, I know that I'm like the most camera shy person I know. I'm sure you guys know that as well. So if I fuck up a basic sentence, oh well, deal with it. I said before that I would put in the same amount of effort into a video that the Blues do in a game, and based on those last 40 minutes, refs aside, uh, it's not worth doing jump cuts. It's not worth doing jump cuts. It's not worth, going into in-depth analysis. It's not worth going over goal by goal because, frankly, it's not worth it. So Blues lost this game, 3-2 to the Arizona Coyotes in a game where we were leading to nothing. After the first period, we had a 2-0 lead going into the first period. Speaking of the first period, we had the same amount of shots in that first period as we did for the rest of the game. We only had 4 shots on goal in that second period, if you guys, didn't know that. Because, I mean, everybody knows that the Blues' second periods are just, terrible for, like, whatever reason. And this game was no exception. Except in this second period, not only did the refs completely screw us over, let me repeat that, the refs completely screwed us over in that second period. That is not an excuse for our poor effort, but the refs definitely did not make it easy. Inexcusable. It's an inexcusable loss. Like, what are we as Blues fans supposed to take from this? Should we take, okay, but going back to the beginning of like this offseason, right? He makes all these moves. He signs Mike Hoffman, right? Doug Armstrong signs Mike Hoffman. He signs Torrey Krug. He signs Kyle Clifford. And he's giving off this message of, okay, we want to win and we want to win now because we know that our cup window isn't going to stay open forever. And we're like, okay, yeah, fair. And so we're all like, okay, we're going to do really well. And then we humiliatingly struggle, you know, and we were just barely in a playoff spot, last month. And we're all super frustrated, and I'm yelling on camera because I'm like, what the hell is going on? You're supposed to be good this year. And so we went from, oh, this team's great to, oh, this team sucks. And then we beat the Wild 9-1 after we played a very good game against Vegas, like literally the game before. And then we beat the Wild again. And we're like, okay, maybe the Blues are good. Okay, now this is when they turn it around. And so I'm like, okay, fine. I'm back on the hype train. We can make the playoffs again. Maybe it was just a fluke for the first half. And then they do this. They lose. However much they lost to Colorado, they lost by 1 goal, but they were down by 3 at one point. And then this game where they just they let the Coyotes win. After 3 strong games against like good opponents in Vegas and Minnesota, they do this against Arizona. Like, what are we supposed to feel? I don't get it. And there's absolutely no excuse to like. There's no excuse to only have 10 shots on goal, 11 shots on goal, excuse me, in the second and third periods combined against the Coyotes. Binnington was fine in this game. In fact, he actually kept us in it for a vast majority of the game. I'm at a loss for words. And I mean, if we talk about, obviously the refs are a big issue right now. And maybe we should talk about that because the goddamn refs, dude. Like, you could tell. I think, I think that referee should be fired. Flat out. I don't even remember what his fucking name was, but he deserves to be fired. Let me see what his actual name was. But, he was looking for calls because he called a bullshit call on Sammy Blais. And after the Coyotes scored, I think to tie the game on that power play, Sammy Blais barked at the referee. It's like, that was a stupid call, and look what just happened. This was your fault. And then, sorry, the computer's like going out. I had to unplug it. I think his name's Dean Morton, I believe. Yes, Dean Morton. he deserves to be fired because, I mean, and then, so the rest of the game, after Sammy Blade barked at him, he's looking to call something on Blade for the rest of the game, and he does. What's the professionalism in that? The NHL markets their referees as something to be proud of. They market them as like they're there to enforce cheating. They're there to be unbiased and to make sure the game is played fairly. You fired Tim Peel for doing the same thing that Dean Morton did in this game. How is the NHL okay with this? And I know I'm going to come off as sounding like a whiny Blues fan, like, oh, your team lost, so you're just going to use the refs as a scapegoat. You cannot watch this. I got confirmation from multiple Coyotes fans on Twitter saying, yeah, that was bad. What has to change? This isn't, and I'm not, no, the refs weren't the sole reason we lost this game, but that was ridiculous. The refs in this game were ridiculous, and the Blues play in this game was ridiculous. It's inexcusable. I half think that Doug Armstrong should have traded somebody just to send a message like, nobody is safe if you're not going to play 60 minutes. This should be common knowledge, right? Play your full 60 minutes. Now I know what the 2019 Steve Dangle felt about the Leafs last year. There's so much potential for this team and they just waste it. What do we got to do? I think I asked some questions on Twitter. Let's just do that real quick. I know there's a lot of pauses in between, but I'm not gonna put a lot of big effort because it's not worth it. It's seriously not worth it. If the Blues aren't gonna put in an effort, why should I? So let's read some. So I tweeted out, instead of a question segment, I asked you guys a question. I said, how do you feel about this season? Hockey writer, Real Brock Banner said, nope, not this year, folks. Maddie says, just thinking about the back-to-back wins against Anaheim because we're the good old times. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Penguin Notes is frustrated at the refs. The first game should have been a warning sign. Greg Kane says, should have sold at the deadline. Nicole says, pissed off because we are playing like shit. And fucking Sonic Boy Matthew says, conflicted. This isn't about you! I can't wait for the season to be over. I never thought I'd say that, but this isn't fun to watch. I don't want to make the playoffs and no amount of winning. I don't care if you win 9-1 every single game for the rest of the year. Oh, okay, that's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. If you put up 3 dominant games, I'm still not going to be convinced because you just did that against the 2 best teams in the league, 2 of the best teams in the league. And he couldn't get it done. You still suck. Look at you now. Having a 2-0 lead against Arizona and blowing it? This is what we're doing now? You blew a 3-0 lead to Los Angeles earlier in the season. What's got to change? Or reply in the comments. What you think needs to change. Because I genuinely don't know. I don't want to make this easy. Let's see. We're going for we're at 9 minutes now. Oh boy. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Just let me know in the comments what needs to happen. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another fucking brain aneurysm. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.